What's going on, people? Welcome to 137 Works, and today we're going to talk about The Outer Worlds, the new game from Obsidian, the makers of Fallout New Vegas, and possibly, I think maybe some of the Obsidian team made the original first Fallout 2 or 1 and 2 RPGs. I'm not 100% certain on that. But yeah, basically it came out last, I want to say Friday, and yeah, I picked it up as part of the Xbox Game Pass thing. By the way, absolutely nonsense value. Like €1 for the first month, and then like €4 after that. I've had months and months of it as like free presents from work and stuff like that in the past. I never really used it, but like for €1 to get The Outer Worlds on launch day is absolutely insane value. And I think that's for everyone, even if you've redeemed it before, because as I said, I have. So just a side note, not sponsored obviously or anything like that. I wish. Yeah, if you want to try this game out, it's £1 on PC and Xbox with the Game Pass thing. So if you haven't already, definitely check it out. But anyway, yeah. So I wanted to talk a little bit about it because it's getting really good reviews. It definitely deserves really good reviews, but it's not like it's kind of just getting almost circle jerked a little bit. Like, and I had a few things to say about it, the good and the bad. So I'll kind of like start generally from the beginning, obviously staying fairly spoiler free. Well, almost entirely spoiler free. I have, for disclosure, this is more of like a first thoughts kind of thing. I've only played about 4 or 5 hours or so. I've done a bunch of side missions. I've gotten a decent way. I've diverted power, if that wants to give you some kind of idea, and I've basically left the first area, sort of. That's basically as far as I've gotten. So without being spoilery, there you go. That's kind of the experience that I'm working off. So basically, from the start, you are just a dude who, like, you're part of like a colony that leaves Earth and kind of gets frozen in space and gets sent off into space to colonize other planets. But from what I understand, you get like unfrozen by a dude who basically wakes you up and kind of sends you to do his bidding, essentially. Kind of, yeah, that's kind of the general gist of it, I think, that I'm up to so far. And you land down on this colony and you go from there, sort of thing. And it's really good. Like, it's Obsidian, so it's kind of the things that if you've probably already seen reviews. Obviously I'm super late with this one, like a couple of days, probably like a week late or whatever, like nearly a week late now at this point. But yeah, like all the writing, all the dialogue choices, all the kind of great kind of early game stuff that you experience, like just right off the bat before you get into any combat or anything like that, is brilliant. It's just brilliantly written. It's so very like funny and natural and that kind of thing. It is really good. Like creating your character, obviously you don't have special, you don't have, what is it in is it special in Fallout? Yeah, the great character, but you have similar ideas, abilities, stats, kind of perks and all that stuff that you can do. It's very, very, very similar to Fallout. It really is. Like, this is one of the ups and downs to it. It's kind of one of my main points of kind of like, not annoyance, but just, or like a grievance, but just kind of something that I noticed about it, and that I'll touch on in a bit more detail later. But yeah, you've got the kind of, as your character creation, kind of very basic, kind of you select a head, you create like your appearance and stuff like that, and then you pick your name, and then yeah, like Fallout again, your special equivalent, whatever it is, like your perks and your skills and stuff like that, and then you start out. And there is quite a lot of choice as far as kind of the abilities that you have for creating characters. Like you can create a dumb character who gives you like new dumb dialogue options, where it's just like you can be really dumb but like really good at science. Where it's like, say you need to fix something or repair something, and it's like, well, we could try this like intelligent method, and you're just like, nah, fuck, I'm just gonna hit it with a hammer, like, and that works apparently. Like that's one of those things that I've seen from people do. But yeah, so basically that's it. You get started playing, and that's the kind of the beginning of the game that you experience. And again, it's very reminiscent of like a Fallout, a Bethesda style Fallout game. It's an immersive sim, I guess. I think like it's an RPG, but it is very, very, very much so like within the immersive sim kind of. If you don't know what that is, the kind of first person with looting and kind of just like weapons, and like there's weapon degrading as well, or weapon damage, whatever the word is. Degradation? Yeah, weapon degradation. Weapon degrading. You're a bad sword. You're bad sword. But anyway, yeah, so, okay, I guess since we're on there, since I kind of sidetracked to the weapons, there's, again, great weapons, but not a lot of them so far. I picked up a whole bunch of duplicates. Like you've got basically like your assault rifle, your light assault rifle, like a sniper, hunting rifle, I think it's called. You have a shotgun, tactical shotgun, a large machine gun, which is like an LMG thing, and maybe one or two other kind of variations, like a handgun and a bolts, and they've got different kind of weapon, kind of, what's the word? Like plasma and shock and just kind of regular human flesh attacks, basically. So there is variety there. There's absolutely variety there, and there's weapon modifications and that kind of thing that you can do as well. That will again change them up. Like you can get a scope, you can get an extended magazine, quicker like all these kind of like little mods and attachments that you can find, which do mix it up a little bit. But the base weapons themselves, it's almost like people will hate me for saying this, but it is almost a step down from the Fallout 4 version of it, where you can just create like endless, obviously, almost endless combinations of weapons. It's funny because right after I recorded this, I went and actually recorded the gameplay. I did the commentary first, and like almost immediately in one of these clips here, you'll see I discover a new weapon. Like, so obviously I don't, as I kept on saying, as I keep on saying in the video, I'm super early into it. I know there's like loads of unique weapons and stuff like that I haven't found. So again, these are just very early thoughts from just kind of the first couple of hours. But yeah, like I may be wrong on some of these points. I just wanted to point that out. Which is, again, it's a good and a bad thing, depending how you see it. But yeah, that's that. You've also got like staffs. I think you've got like some some kind of batons and like electric batons and like a blade scythe sort of thing. So yeah, there's a nice combination or like variation, but just not a massive amount, which is something that I noticed as well. The loot in general, at least as I said in this first little period that I've played, is very just kind of, you're basically picking up the same handful of things throughout this whole kind of first 4 or 5 hours, which again, it's not a bad thing. You're like, as you're creating loot, as you're collecting duplicates, you can junk them down to make weapon parts to repair the weapons that you do like and that you do want to use, or you can sell them obviously to like vendors. They've got vending machines a la, does Fallout have vending machines? I don't think so. Maybe like Borderlands, maybe, or perhaps in Prey, that machine where you can deposit your materials and get stuff back, similar to that. So yeah, so if you follow me on Twitter, you probably have heard me say it's very much so basically like a Fallout game set in space that looks and has a very familiar sort of Bioshocky, definitely, like I've played a couple few hours of Bioshock 1, it definitely has like that kind of aesthetic to it a little bit, with like the space vibe and the kind of 1950s deco sort of thing, but then with elements from Prey. And again, saying that this game has elements of all of these great games and great series is not by any means obviously a bad thing to be compared to these games, but my big question and my big point is, as we'll get to here, it's just, I've played it before. Like, and I don't seem to see anybody really mentioning this. It's not doing, again, at least not so far, other than a great setting and a great storyline and all that kind of stuff, great writing so far. It's not doing anything new gameplay-wise for me that I can think of off the top of my head. It even has, so I don't think I said VATS, I was talking about special earlier on. Even with the weapons, you've got essentially the VATS system from Borderlands, except it's not even as in-depth, where you can pick specific targets and kind of and go for the targets. It's just basically a time slower downer. Now, you can pick specific body parts to shoot at just naturally and just be like, okay, if you want to just make a guy stumble or slow down or not be able to run at you as fast or whatever or at all, you can shoot at his legs, or you can shoot at his feet, or you can obviously go for the headshot and try to take him out. But yeah, it's just been, like, to quote for some reason this always comes to my head when something like this happens, the Simpsons scene with George Harrison where he rolls by and they're on the roof and he just rolls by and he rolls down the window. It's been done. Like, I don't know if it's a bad thing. Again, as I said, I'm still trying to work it out, and I'm going to play a lot more to try and kind of see where else it goes from here. But just so far, at least, it's been done. And I'm surprised I'm not seeing a lot more people complaining about that. Again, I don't want us to be negative. I don't want us to be complaining, because there's enough, God, like Jesus knows, there's enough of that going around. But yeah, it seems very, like, gameplay wise. Some of my thoughts that I'm seeing are coming from stuff that I read online. Somebody mentioned a point that because it was like their first go at this new series and this new kind of what do they call them, IP. Maybe they're just kind of doing a simple one to test the waters with just a great story to get you hooked in and some fairly basic mechanics, and then with Microsoft's back in, The Outer Worlds 2 will be the big explosion and big expansion with all these kind of new features and all that kind of stuff, which would be great and interesting to see. But it's just something that I definitely noticed, and I wanted to mention that, I have not seen anything yet that I recognise. Like, lockpicking is in it, like, it's got the lockpicking mechanism for Fallout just without the little mini games, which, I don't know, I liked the mini games. I don't know, I'm kind of in the minority, I guess you could say, for that, like, from what I'm seeing online, at least. Definitely, like, at least in Skyrim, like, and to a certain extent, like, the Fallout ones can be a bit annoying, like, but once you, like, I won't go into the details of all the different lockpicking mechanics in games, but yeah, I always felt like the lockpicking, whatever you got in the chest, was that little more of a reward because you work to get it, as opposed to Fallout where it's just basically a skill check. Now, I know people feel the opposite, where it's like, I don't want to do this, I just want to get the loot as quickly as possible, but I always felt like there was just that little, like, 10% extra little feeling of accomplishment, a sense of pride and accomplishment that you got from getting your loot when you picked, like, successfully picked a lock in Skyrim, or a terminal in Fallout, or Prey, or something like that. And having that miss and having it just be a basic skill check and using your mag picks, which are plentiful. Like, I don't think I've ever run out of mag picks yet in all this time that I've played. And I think I've only come across one that I wasn't, again, even I'm only level, I'm less than level 10, I want to say. And in the first town area and the kind of surrounding area, I don't think I've come across, like, maybe except for possibly one in the power plant thing, that I haven't been high enough ranked yet. And it's like by far and away miles away. It's like level 50, and presumably you have to come back later in the game for it at some point, maybe for the story. But yeah, that's basically that. There's I've really enjoyed my time with it, but from what I've seen, it's not doing anything new, and what it's doing the same. It's doing not worse, again, definitely not worse, but just simpler than has been done before. Things that you have to give it credit for is that it was a released game, full game, no mention of DLC that I'm aware of, no microtransactions in the game at all that I'm aware of or are planned at all. They just released the game, put it on sale for €60 or whatever it is, normal price if you don't get it with Game Pass, included it in Game Pass for €1, and no bullshit, no strings attached. That's it. We just made a good game and we put it out there, and it's like much like in Fallout, much like in Skyrim, much like in something like Prey. Just immersive sims, for me personally anyway, it's just a nice place to spend time, like just to play that game. Like I played it for a good few hours, as I said, over the weekend there, and I just freaking enjoyed my time with it. Like that's my time on that kind of world and in that land. Again, I'm super early into something like this, into something like an RPG like that. I've only scratch the surface, but just so far, they're my initial thoughts on it, about 10 minutes or so, and I'll basically wrap it up there. I'm sure I probably missed something again. It's while I've only played the couple of hours, there's some probably details I missed, like your sidekick, like companions and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's just the kind of initial early thoughts, and I'll wrap it up there. So if you enjoyed it, please do leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.